Don't forget it's Sunday.
We in this together. You are not alone.
The time by Sagicor is
7 p.m.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, 3 killed in Christmas crashes. Also in the news, a 41-year-old fatally shot in Denham Town on Christmas Day. Also, JPS fulfills promise as power restored to Black River on Christmas night. And also celebrating excellence amid adversity in Region 6. And later in sports, Ronaldo Adams will be sharing the latest. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Friday, December 26, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Thanks for joining us. Up first tonight, a Christmas Day accident along the Palisades main road caused panic after a red 7-seater motor vehicle burst into flames moments after crashing. Now, video captured by onlookers shows the occupants scrambling to exit the vehicle just before it became engulfed. Now, all passengers managed to escape alive. Now, at this time, it's still unclear what caused the accident. Meanwhile, a double tragedy on Christmas Day has once again thrust road safety into the national spotlight. 3 people are dead following 2 separate crashes, one reported Thursday afternoon and another early Friday morning. The incidents are now raising concerns from the National Road Safety Council. Our reporter Akeem Oret has the details.
Christmas Day, typically a time for celebration, ended in heartbreak on the nation's roads. At approximately 1:30 Thursday afternoon, 1 person was killed in a motor vehicle crash. Just hours later, another crash early Friday morning claimed 2 more lives, pushing the holiday toll to 3. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, says the incidents are deeply troubling, particularly during what should be a period of heightened caution.
But on a day like Christmas Day, when we're supposed to be spreading peace and joy and having a good time celebrating the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ, it is very jarring to note that 3 persons died on Christmas Day.
With just under 5 days remaining in 2025, the country has already recorded 368 road fatalities. Dr. Jones stresses that stronger enforcement and more responsible road use are critical if the trend is to be reversed.
The first and most urgent issue is to ensure that the sanctions regime, which attends the new Road Traffic Act, is functioning effectively and comprehensively. And one aspect which is outstanding is the demerit point system, that which can effectively remove persistently errant drivers who persist in speeding over the speed limit, persist in breaking a stoplight, persist in driving carelessly, and persist in drinking and driving.
Dr. Jones also expressed profound disappointment in how road users are closing out 2025, noting that despite repeated warnings, dangerous habits persist. However, he says plans are already in place for 2026, including intensified public education and enforcement, but success, he emphasizes, depends heavily on motorists themselves.
With the hope that if we put in place these important issues for 2026, we can continue the downward trend 2026 and onwards. to save lives, to prevent grief, to cut down on the cost of the country to the country from injuries, which is affecting the Ministry of Health operations greatly, and to make sure that our development as a country is not stymied by the continuous loss of life and injury in 2026.
As investigations into the Christmas Day crashes continue, authorities are again urging motorists to slow down, avoid alcohol behind the wheel, and put safety first. Reporting for CVM News, I'm Akeem Art.
Now, the Denham Town Police are investigating the murder of a man who was shot and killed in the area on Christmas. The deceased has been identified as 41-year-old Ricardo Ellis, otherwise known as Boya and Buzza of North Street in Kingston 14. Reports are that around 8 a.m. Ellis was standing in front of his business place at the Wellington and Nelson Street intersection when two men on a motorcycle armed with guns opened fire. To other news now, power has started returning to Black River in St. Elizabeth. The town, which was decimated by Hurricane Melissa, started to receive light along its main lines on Christmas morning. The Black River Hospital, which is the major hospital serving the parish, is also now energized. It's the last major hospital to receive electricity since the natural disaster hit the island. Now, the promise, which was made on Christmas Eve by JPS President or CEO Hugh Grant, was met by cheers and applause during an event earlier that day in Treasure Beach. Black River is the last parish capital to receive power following the Category 5 storm, which destroyed the transmission network. Now, currently, over 95% of customers have also been restored in Manchester and over 82% of customers restored in Trelawney. The community of Treasure Beach, which is also suffering from the loss of the transmission network, will now be temporarily supplied with power from the brand new JPS Emergency Mobile Power Generation Unit. Now, the emergency unit is presently powering just under 1,000 customers and will not only supply Treasure Beach but also Great Bay, Old Fort, Sandy Bank, Frenchman's Bay, Calabash Bay, Billy's Bay and Fort Charles. The general rate of restoration by JPS now stands at 88%. In the middle of a difficult season for many Jamaicans, one community group is choosing to spotlight success, service and hope this Christmas. Details in this report.
At a time when many families are still trying to get back on their feet after Hurricane Melissa, a group of principals in St. Catherine decided now was the right time to pause and celebrate excellence. Friends of Region 6 recently hosted its 19th award ceremony, honoring students who excelled in this year's primary exit profile exams.
This year we were badly affected by Melissa, and we have taken the decision that we should scale down things a little bit. We did not want this year to pass without being able to put together an activity like this. And that is why, while it is that we have to scale it down, we ensure that we come through for our people in Region 6. Individuals in Region 6 have been working extremely hard, and I think it is important that we try to have them motivated, and that is what we did this afternoon.
And in the spirit of giving, Second Vice President of Friends of Region 6, Linton Ware, says the initiative also seeks to assist those students who are now attending high school and are in need.
It is not just about academic performance. It is about the students who show some amount of need as well, because we are here to provide support to all our students, those who are academically good, those who are having challenges financially. So we want at the end of the day that all our learners are taken care of.
Students aside, teachers, community workers, and other individuals who have gone above and beyond in Region 6 were also recognized for their exceptional service. People who continue to show up and make a difference even as communities recover.
We ensure that we look and provide support to the adults as well. So you take, for example, we have Teacher of the Year, Ansel Work of the Year, Admin Work of the Year, and the Work of the Year within the Ministry of Education. So we leave no stone untouched as it relates to celebrating with excellence.
Over 400 homeless people across the corporate area were given the opportunity to have a Christmas meal courtesy of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation as Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby, accompanied by officials and staff from the KCMC, hosted the annual Christmas dinner at Water Lane in downtown Kingston.
It is customary for us to have our Christmas feeding program on Christmas Day. Today we are catering for persons who are in our care, and approximately 120 persons, and we also feeding persons in different sections of the municipality. For example, halfway through New Kingston and Gosford. I think that amounts to about 400 persons who are catering for.
And some of the stuff, you could tell us some of the stuff that you would have given them here today.
Well, we have to make sure they have a sumptuous meal, and including a drink and water, of course. And we're also giving them present, and we have given meals separate present from the females. And that's been wonderful so far.
Meanwhile, KCMC CEO Robert Hill spoke to the efforts that are being made to streamline the homeless feeding program, noting that a lack of coordination can lead to unintended outcomes.
We have just completed a statistical exercise, and the final numbers are coming in. We also want to encourage persons who have the care for homeless and who are inclined to support the homeless to contact the police department of KCMC. On many occasions, we find that independent actors are feeding persons on the street, allowing them to coalesce around major urban areas, which open them up to certain types of risk. What we're trying to do is to take control of that situation, have it logically set out that persons who are so inclined, service organizations, churches, even individuals or groups, can come through the police department of the KCMC and have it done in an orderly fashion. Because on the streets now, with the generation of garbage, there's interpersonal conflict among some of our homeless population, and those things are continuous challenges that we're trying to face and to minimize. So in light of the statistics being completed, the homelessness survey, and coming up to the new year, we're going to be changing our strategies based on that data, and also inviting all persons who are so inclined to assist us to do so by consulting the police department cases.
And it's time now for regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, this Christmas is not so merry for a family whose house was damaged by heightened activity at the Piparo mud volcano on Wednesday. More from TTT News.
Instead of being able to fully enjoy the Christmas season, one family in Piparo is living in fear of what could happen next. This as heightened activity at the Piparo mud volcano on Wednesday destroyed part of their home just one day before Christmas.
It just kind of, make it sour, It's not really interested, Christmas not really, because you can't expect what could happen again, It might erupt again, so you don't know what could be expected, So you just have to be on the lookout.
Right. Ms. Badri said she has been living at this location for over 20 years, but has never witnessed an occurrence like this before. Nigel Mervyn said he has since been contemplating relocating.
The next option that we have to move out of here, because we don't know if the next eruption would be worse than like how it is here now. There's an underground thing now.
Minister of Works and Infrastructure Jolene John visited the residents on Christmas morning.
She delivered hampers and things. She came and she was very nice. She came and she looked at whatever. She said she will contact us.
Another resident, Usman Mohammed, said while his home was not affected, the impassable road is an inconvenience to him and other residents.
In Belize, Prime Minister Briceño has characterized recent engagements with the U.S. Embassy as business as usual. Analysts note that discussions involving senior U.S. congressional and State Department officials signal that Belize's domestic policy decisions, especially those involving ports, finance, and governance, are being closely watched beyond its borders. More from Love FM Belize.
I spoke about my meeting with President Trump when we met in New York. Brief meeting when he expressed excitement about Belize because both of his daughters have been to Belize and expressing interest of somebody to come and visit Belize. So we had a good meeting, and so it's at no time did they ever tell us that about any minister or that me having to remove any minister from cabinet. So I want to make that very clear. But more than that, I can't say. In the next year, so once he gets better and he's prepared to come back, there's always room for good people in cabinet.
And in international news, the United States has launched airstrikes targeting ISIL fighters in Nigeria. Working alongside the Nigerian government, officials say the attacks come after ongoing violence against both Christian and Muslim communities, as extremist groups continue their deadly attacks. More from Al Jazeera.
U.S. missiles launched towards northwestern Nigeria. The U.S. military says Islamic State terrorists were targeted in Sokoto State. The State Department recently designated Nigeria a country of particular concern under the U.S. Religious Freedom Act. United States President Donald Trump called the targets terrorist scum, targeting Christians in the region. Officials from both countries said the strikes were a joint operation.
There would not be an impulsive arrangement where the Americans or any other foreign body comes into Nigeria to assist us. So this is what the communication has been ongoing for weeks now.
An offshoot of Boko Haram known as Islamic State West Africa Province is known to be affiliated with ISIS, but operates mainly in the northeast.
Many Christians and Muslims have been targeted in a series of attacks by armed groups in Nigeria. While the United States military operation is welcomed by many here in Lagos and in other parts of the country, many people in the north are worried that the area will become a new theater of operations for the United States military, and they fear they could become casualties.
It's not about religion. It's not about who said what. It is about getting the results. So we're ready to work with others in fighting terrorism, in fighting insecurity in Nigeria and in our region.
This is a major military escalation in Nigeria, and a warning from the U.S. Secretary of State that there is more to come will have rung loud in the ears of local people.
And that's it for regional and international news.
Stay with us for sports with Ronaldo Adams after this break.
You know, some days are harder than others, but we have to do our part. You like porridge? We're in this together.
Morning, nurse. Thank you for what you do every day.
Come in, nurse. Or bono fear.
In this together.
Do you recognize the signs of dengue? Look out for these symptoms: high fever, severe headaches, joint and muscle pain, skin rash, nausea, and pain behind the eyes. If you experience these symptoms, rest, stay hydrated, and take paracetamol for pain relief. If symptoms persist beyond 3 days or worsen, such as persistent vomiting, severe abdominal pain, or difficulty breathing, seek medical attention immediately. Early treatment can save lives. Know the signs, act fast, together we can beat dengue. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and PAHO.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smile. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. Digicel is gifting smiles this season. 64 lucky customers will win $250,000 cash, and the third two getting $50,000 in groceries. You can also win Samsung tablets, furniture vouchers, and so much more. Gift Espa, you can keep your prize, or we give all our partners to someone who really needs a smile. This season isn't just about winning, it's about making sure everybody good. Cash Digital in your community, bringing gifts and good cheer to keep you smiling into the new year.
Check, love and respect. Now let me tell you about some quick and easy winnings. If you live in Portmore and you use a toll every day of the week, you drive a car or SUV,